lui è un amico mio di tanti anni e fa l'attore. Ho fatto per tanti anni uno spettacolo che in Italia si chiama Beautiful and in America was called The Bold and the Beautiful, and it's Daniel McVicar. And then for the rest of the world that knows him but doesn't know me, my name is Marco Traniello and I'm doing this conversation with my friends once in a while. Come stai?
Bene, bene, grazie. Ciao, bello.
Ci
Ecco,
conosciamo da più di 20 anni, siamo conosciuti
sì,
sui tavoli da poker
sì, sì,
durante
sì, sì.
some charity event.
È stato a Los Angeles o Las Vegas? Non ricordo quale.
Was in LA, somewhere I
LA,
think I
sì,
was an Indian something, on an Indian
sì,
casino, something like that.
sì, in casino, sì, sì, sì.
What is that?
Eh,
Who was it?
I don't know. There were a couple of possibilities, but we met at the poker tables,
Yeah. And
around the
one of
poker
my questions
tables.
is actually this one. Do you think that acting is an advantage in the poker table or doesn't have nothing to do with poker?
I don't think it makes much difference, honestly. I think maybe because for an actor, the first thing is you need to learn the numbers, which hands are better, which hands are not, where you are at the table. For me, that was what you needed to learn. After that, maybe you can play, you can act a little bit, but poker players are really good actors. So you know, and actually, that sort of applies. The lesson there is in life, people don't show their emotions. Um, so you keep the emotion underneath the facade when you're doing a role as well.
Ok, la seconda domanda è in italiano.
Sì,
È
dimmi.
stato facile abituarsi a stare in Italia a posto del way of living, il modo di vivere in americano?
No, guarda, Italia è stata una scelta. Ho fatto di 2007 perché ho avuto una relazione con una donna e alla fine siamo sposati, abbiamo avuto un bimbo. Per quello sono venuto qui, ho voluto cambiare mia vita in qualche modo. E ho cambiato tanto. È interessante ora essere qui, fuori di America e adesso sono un cittadino italiano, anche un cittadino americano, per quello un piede in tutti e due i posti.
Vero, vero. E adesso che sei diventato anche italiano, ti senti più italiano o americano?
Ma di base americano, e questa è la verità, ma io sono italiano di scelta.
È vero, è vero.
Eh,
It's where your heart is. Io mi ricordo che io stavo alle scuole medie, ho letto la Costituzione americana, mi è piaciuta tantissimo, cioè First
sì.
Amendment, Second Amendment, especially. And then I came here in vacation and that's it. That's what I want to live, you know? Però adesso mi manca un po' l'Italia.
Sì, ma siamo qui, sarà sempre qui.
Yeah.
Perché tutto è lento in Italia,
È
tutto
vero,
è
la
con burocrazia,
burocrazia,
eccetera. Sì, sì,
forget.
ma questa conserva anche la cultura, anche le cose del passato. In un senso conserva, perché è difficile cambiare le cose.
È vero, mi ricordo quando ho portato Scarlett l'anno scorso in Italia, ho detto guarda, adesso c'è la siesta, dopo pranzo vanno a dormire, le persone vanno a dormire, i negozi chiudono, non capiva, cioè dice come fanno a
Sì,
chiudere?
sì, 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 ma fanno così. E guarda, fanno un po' meno così, ci sono posti quasi aperti sempre qui.
Ti immagini a Los Angeles chiudere il negozio, tornare a casa, farsi 2 ore di macchina per andare a fare un pisolino e
Oh sì,
tornare?
ah sì,
Impossibile.
no, 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 no. Ma io ricordo quando sono appena arrivato a Los Angeles, e 78 sono arrivato, e sì, 78. E guarda, è stato un tempo speciale lì a Hollywood, ma ci sono stati posti da mangiare a 3, 4, 5 mattine sempre, perché ho lavorato in un locale, ho lavorato in The Comedy Store
I
e
know that place very well.
non è cambiato tanto, è quasi uguale di 50 anni fa, dove è stato Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, David Letterman, Jay Leno. Questo è stato più stand-up. Robin Williams è venuto a fare improvvisazione e lì finiamo alle 2 mattina, andiamo a cercare per qualcosa da mangiare, Cantors, Fairfax oppure Teriyaki Burger. Penso è stato Olympic o Beverly or Third, non come ricordo, Teriyaki Burger, e anche è stato vicino Carney's, dove ci sono stati hot dog, vicino lì. Ma tutti è stato aperto 24 su 24 quasi. Locali no, Roxy, Roxbury hanno chiuso alle 2.
Ricorda?
Io sono stato single, bello, eccetera, e per quello è stata una strategia andare al parking lot di parcheggio di Roxbury a Rainbow quando tutti escono. Per quelle le donne che escono, si può controllare.
Ma Los Angeles è cambiata tantissimo, specialmente dopo il Covid. It completely changed.
Sì? How?
Yeah. Because first of all, nothing is open at night anymore. And I don't like it because I'm from Vegas, right? So you go to Los Angeles and they ask you at 1:30, last call, and then everybody gets drunk, you know. So everybody then go drive with the last shot, yes, in the system. It makes no sense. The freedom of America, I thought it was like do whatever you want, whenever you want. It's your thing. But in California, it's not like this, and Vegas is completely different. So I prefer it this way.
That's why I went at 1:45 to the parking lot of the Roxbury, so you could see all the girls exit.
Crazy. Well, there was young Daniel. And,
yeah, young Daniel.
And
young
then,
Daniel.
Then you land a very good role that keep you busy for many years.
Well, after 10, but I was in Los Angeles for 10 years before I got the role. I was doing a little part, but mainly working as a waiter. Or
like every actor. When you ask, I'm an actor in LA, which restaurant?
Yeah. Or also if we were doing a magazzino, a dock loading freight. And so you get a long piece of freight. You'd be in front. The guy way back and behind says, "Oh, so what do you do? You're working." But he says, "What do you do?" And says, "Oh, I'm an actor." The guy in the back, "Oh, I'm a producer." Okay. So you go along in the middle of the night doing the labor. But everybody arrives in Los Angeles with a dream. And people leave with this, they say, "I came to try my dream." And some people stay and some people go.
I know. And I really like the manifestation of it. Because if you start saying it, like Jim Carrey did, with that $10 million check in his pocket that fade away. If you really put it out there, then most likely it's going to happen because you manifest what you say.
Well, you need a great state of denial, un stato di rifiuto, because the numbers don't make sense. If you analyze it, it doesn't make sense at all. So you really have to have a very strong will to even work one day, much less make a career.
Yes. Yeah. And when you land a role, it can change your life.
Well, yeah, but I think you need to be ready for that role when it comes, and you just continue to work hard. You study, you work hard, you study. That's it. And you're surrounded by people who arrived at about the same time as you with the same dreams. So that's what's interesting too, is they all arrive. The people I know, my best friends for a long time, I met at the Comedy Store. We all came from Florida or Iowa or California or Oregon, and they're all still my closest friends.
Crazy. And nowadays with the...
But then later on, I made a real close friend from Italy. But you were very exotic, Marco.
On the poker.
Uno italiano.
Vero. We were like, we were running the table that day. I remember. And then,
but that was actually a really fun tournament, and you gave me some good advice on that tournament, and it carried me through almost in the money. I was playing a little bit too conservatively. I remember that because I had an ace 6, I think, I was dealt. And I decided to stay in. But it was a big table. A lot of people stayed in, but then I decided to bail out after the flop. But at the end, the ace-6 would have been a big winner because it would have been the high full house. You know, it would have
Give you
it would have made a big
chip
difference.
lead.
That would have been a big turbo move. But the poker is poker, and you can have the best hand and still get beat.
Yeah,
So
they was asking me which one is your best hand. I say the winning hand. I don't care if I have 7 deuce and someone check on over to me that I'm the big blind, and then the flop comes 7 deuce.
Do you like to do you like to play 7 deuce sometimes?
Never. I really. It's going to be very, very difficult to put me on a 7 deuce unless I'm on the big blind and everybody just passively call and I'm in the pot with that.
Yeah, then
it's
you're
not
in.
going to happen. No.
Then you're in.
Another hand I really don't like to play, so I'm just saying, is queen deuce. I lost so many pots with that thing.
You don't like queen deuce?
No, anything with the deuce actually I don't play.
Queens. I always also I'm very skeptical of queens because they're third.
Yes, and every time you see a kappa on flop or an ace, it's always someone else with a king or with an ace.
Yeah. So the queen, I say, okay, this is going to be the second best hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can let go of that one pretty easily. Yes. But do you like to play ace king or king queen?
Yeah, I do. Ace king is like a must play, and it's actually a 3-bet one too.
Yeah, and but do you also like to play the like a 9-10 or a 7-8 when you've got the cards right next to each other?
So the connector,
even offsuit.
I really love those hands. Like 7-8 or spades. It's a very good hand for me.
Well, also you're suited.
Yeah.
So whenever you have two of the same suit, it's fun to play. But a queen deuce of spades, would you play?
No, not really. I try to avoid the combination. I don't know why.
But that also, if somebody else sets a flush, you got the second best hand again.
Third.
Damn it. Yeah.
So it's always there. I say, wow. And the guy have a naked king. One time I was playing was in London, and Phil Emmett was at my table, and the huge pot come out, and then there's like a flash on the flop on the board, and I have nothing in my hand, but I know that he flop it, so it was good, right? And then at the end, I put all my money in, and he's like, I know, and he showed me the king, and he fold, and then I show him the bluff, and he got so mad because I have nothing. But I know that he's the one guy that can fold, So
yeah,
that's it. So,
but also it was great through you to meet all the great players of poker. Also here in Italy, there are tournaments occasionally, and Luca Pagano is up in Lugano, and doing the Poker Stars room, and as well as involved certainly with the European Poker Tour, the Poker Stars tour as well. It's I don't get to the tables too much now, but when I do, I like it. But I know I need to carve out time and peace to be really at peace, not to run in and run out. You got to be really
take your time. Calm. You have to be completely calm, and that's why I like when I see on the poker table that there are people that are in a rush or stuff. I already know that's dead money, because they're gonna go somewhere.
Yeah.
Chill, your thing is perfect. I get my chamomile tea and stuff, and I see the guy with the double shot of thing. I know the guy is going somewhere. But yes, Luca Pagano is a great friend of mine. And when I hear Luca Pagano is in Lugano, I feel like they changed the name of the place to accommodate his first and last name.
Exactly.
You own that place.
Lugano sounds like Luca Pagano.
You were made. So,
but it's you've have you been to that room up there or no? It's Lugano. It's a beautiful casino up there. There a little bit of Italy carved out right in the middle of Switzerland that's kept there, and they have the casino. Kind of weird, but nice, beautiful view.
Beautiful.
But in the poker room, there's no view. It's only the table.
Yeah, he FaceTimed me from there a few times, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, really beautiful, and close to me because I live in Torino, Italy. So I'm here in
How
the
long it
north.
takes to drive there?
About 2 hours and a half,
Oh,
maybe
it's
two and
easy.
a
It's
half.
like a Florence, Rome. Yeah.
About like that. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and yeah, Luca is very,
Let's
very
go.
generous. Always give me the best spot in the house and the best rooms.
Yeah.
I love the guy. So hopefully one day
Yeah.
we're
He's a
gonna
great
be there
guy.
together. We'll see.
And that would be wonderful. But also he's a great businessman. He's an entrepreneur. Um, he's always done that. He certainly can play poker, but he's very good at creating businesses and creating value.
Yes, in everything he does. He used to have also some uh, online poker deal with Poker Stars and stuff, and he always represented the company very well.
So I recommend to your audience, go to lucapagano.com. I don't know if it exists.
we sell
We're
you
doing a
out,
commercial.
Luca.
We're doing a commercial for
Which I'm
Luca.
gonna have
Hi,
Luca here
Luca.
too. I'm gonna cut this piece and send it to him. So tell me about another thing that it changed. When you were in LA, LA is very starstruck, right? Cioè, quando una persona famosa va in giro ci sono sempre paparazzi e altre cose. E translate to Italy. In Italia anche è stato così, che ti ha dovuto abituare a... o è diverso il livello di fame?
Well, let me speak in English here because
Yeah.
I'll talk about Los Angeles, because Los Angeles certainly is where everybody goes, and you can go to the hardware store, and there is a star at the hardware store. I lived in Malibu. Everybody's around in Malibu, and it was much more open when I was there because it was more rustic. So surfers and mountain people. But standing behind Dick Clark at the Malibu hardware, because everybody's just there in the neighborhood. When I first came to the town, also, it was the time of Dallas.
Right.
And so Larry Hagman's daughter also is a dear friend of mine. And we were performing at the Comedy Store. But Larry knew how to work it. But what was great for me when I was in Los Angeles was knowing people from the old movies, from the silent movies or the early movies from the 30s and 40s and 50s, the story there. And now, I'm getting old. So I was in Los Angeles not quite 50 years ago, 45 years ago. I first came, almost 50. And if you think when I was there 50 years before that, there were silent movies.
Crazy.
So just for perspective. And so Mickey Rooney, you see Cary Grant, Cary frickin' Grant. You see Ginger Rogers or Gene Kelly or Donald O'Connor or Jimmy Stewart. And you see these mythic people
Legends.
who really, the cinema was based on their image. The only one before that could have been Charlie Chaplin. And of course he wasn't in Los Angeles, but still, Los Angeles, you have star sightings all the time. It's a star sighting. And so sometimes I would make a joke, okay, there's Gene Hackman. It wasn't Gene Hackman, but I would pretend. Then I'd say, oh, that's Mick Jagger. But it was Mick Jagger, So because people got to go out to eat. And now there's paparazzi. There's a few restaurants in Los Angeles where the paparazzi go, and everybody knows that the paparazzi are there. They all know. The Ivy on Robertson. They're always there. If you go there, you're going to get your picture taken at the Ivy. It's going to happen. Mr. Chow's, always at Mr. Chow's, or if it's an event, I'm in an event and I see Harrison Ford and I go, I see Sean Connery, because it really affects you. Also, but I was also at another event and I see John Elway, the quarterback from the Denver Broncos, and I'm a Colorado boy, so I'm going, and I took a picture and I couldn't talk because, it affects you. But also sort of for me, confirmed that I was in the right place, and confirmed that these are people that I admire and that I will steal from them and use the best that I can from them. I remember I was searching for Cary Grant's shirt maker in Beverly Hills, and I found it. But he had a special neck, sort of a bull neck, is how it was explained to me. And so my neck was quite different from his. So the shirt maker didn't do the Cary Grant shirt for me. But Italy this week is Sanremo. Tutti sono a Sanremo ora. Va bene?
È vero.
Ma io non sono in musica, per quello
Noi siamo stati a Sanremo per un tournament. Quando ci
Ah
stava
sì, Sanremo siamo stati.
Uh-huh.
Sei stato tu lì, sì?
Siamo
Per
stati
quel
insieme,
torneo?
Sì,
è stato bello. È stato proprio bello quel torneo. The European Poker Tour al Casino di Sanremo.
EPT, yes, one of the first edition too.
Yeah, and so I was out with Brunson, Todd,
yes.
Brunson, and we were out having dinner. And we're at the same restaurant as Liza Minnelli.
Is he?
Because she was doing a show for Rai Television. Ti lascio un canzone, she was doing. And so we're having dinner there, and there's Liza at the other table. There we go.
So
it was just so it can happen in Italy too.
Yes, it can happen, especially there. I mean, if you go now in Sanremo, everywhere you go, you're gonna meet someone because there is very few places. I remember how small is that strip? It's like
it's very small.
4 restaurants that are good, and that's it.
But for me to go to Sanremo, I went one year. I went in 2007, and I took Virginia, who my wife, my ex-wife, and we went there, had a great time. But it was the last year of Pippo Baudo.
Legend.
And I was there for the finale. And Pippo I'd met over the years, and so I went backstage after his last Sanremo in what is now known as the Pippo Baudo dressing room, Camerino, to see Pippo seated, and he was just marvelous. And I actually compared him to Dick Clark, who was just one of the great presenters in the history of American television. Always calm, always, there. And I'm realizing now what a great present that was to attend Sanremo and to see Pippo's last stand. There.
It was crazy good.
And I tell you, he was a great guy, a guy who I admired a great deal. I got to meet him several times over the years and talk with him several times over the years. A really a special man who was easy to be around on stage and backstage as well.
Yeah, I feel like the same person is one of those people that don't change much.
Yeah, he seemed the same. I agree.
Yeah. And what about, ho lavorato anch'io in Italia in televisione, facevo Buona Domenica con Paola Barale, facevo la parrucchiera. Io ero una semplice parrucchiera prima.
Ah, bello. Semplice, insomma.
Quindi li vedevi le persone.
How do you like my hair then? How do you like my hair?
I much prefer white than those color. I know, capisco che per i film a volte devi colorare i capelli, però mi piacciono così. Infatti non vedo l'ora che anche io ho tutti i miei capelli bianchi. La barba è quasi lì, vedi?
Ma sei un po' più giovane di me. Ma guarda, io sto preparando per un ruolo in un film. Adesso sto facendo tanti film, è la verità. E sento Chuck spesso.
Ah, benissimo. Come si chiama questo film?
Piace. E questo è nuovo, si chiama Carpe Diem.
Oh, wow.
Giro marzo.
Which is one of my favorite phrases in life. I always think about it. Anche perché se non avessi fatto Carpe Diem tante volte non sarei dove sono adesso. Yep.
You got to grab life. Well, for me, I don't want to really be too aggressive grabbing life because it's here already. I just allow it now. I think maybe it's maturity, but I'm really very content to allow life and just enjoy it because we're on a ride here. We're on a very special ride.
Since you turn 105 years old,
Yeah,
you come
yeah.
down a little bit.
Well, it was the 100 was a special mark, but I was still a little crazy at 100 because I was in a state of denial. But now at 105, I'm more relaxed.
Yes. Let me ask you, do you ever smoke cigars?
I used to love to smoke cigars.
Okay, because
Yeah,
it's somebody I picked up a few years ago for New Year's Eve, and
yeah.
right now I do like. I mean, I don't want to do any commercial, but I just once in a while I enjoy a cigar outside, like maybe twice a year. Good.
Yeah, no,
One time I do
I
it.
used to love cigars. My dad used to smoke cigars, and he would go around in the van. He drove a van because we were.
Cigar
I'm one of
man.
I'm one of 12 children, but when his work car was a van, and so, but he would smoke cigars, not in the house. He wouldn't smoke cigars in the house, and so okay. And so when I was a young man, I liked to smoke cigars once in a while, and then it was very popular for a period of time. So I enjoyed it. But then over 10 years ago, I did a play, and it was I was going to be singing in the play, and I go, I got it. I can't smoke cigars right now, so I didn't smoke, and I was smoking those little Antico Toscanos
Mhm.
also. And so then when I stopped the play, I went to try it, and I go, no, I'll
That
leave it
was it.
alone. But I did a role in a movie, a beautiful movie, by the way, called Ladro di Stelle Cadenti.
Oh, bellissimo.
It's a beautiful film that
No.
was shot in Sicily, and my character smoked, Antica Toscanos. And so we shot at night, and then the days I was shooting, I was going, oh, I like this, I like this. But then I stopped. I didn't need to smoke after I was done, and I was coughing too because it wasn't very good for
That's how
me.
it does. I mean, I cannot be good, but in
But
moderation, everything's good.
I've had a good cigar. From I was at the Monaco Yacht Show, and somebody from the Cayman Islands gave me a cigar, and I said, I'm going to smoke a cigar this afternoon at the port in Monaco, and just sit there and go, and just because I love it in the afternoon. I love the cigar at night. I don't sleep too well after, but in the afternoon it's perfect because it comes from. And the ideal thing for me, Monaco, the ideal thing, and it's happened. Not enough, but it's happened, was to receive a script, a screenplay, with an offer that they're offering me the movie, to get a cigar and a coffee and read the screenplay. Fantastic. That is beautiful.
So with the coffee, not with the, let's say, a 10 years old Russell Reserve whiskey.
No.
Brandy.
I'm reading. I'm working. I'm working. I
coffee.
don't drink anymore anyway, so
No.
you know.
I was never a drinker either, but, like, I think once in a while everything is allowed.
No, I think it's the taste of cigars and whiskey or cognac seem to go together. But also for me, a coffee and a cigar, and I would read the screenplay, and then I go to the toilet.
I would say I would rephrase myself. Everything is allowed that is legal and Bible friendly. Because
Amen.
if I
There we
say
go.
okay, everything is allowed, and tomorrow okay, here you go, I go and sleep
In,
with Daniel McVicar now.
in,
No,
no,
but,
it's do what you want and be happy. For me, I wouldn't.
No.
I like you I love you as a friend.
Thank you.
So
I'm talking about any guy, but yeah. No, because
whatever.
Every time I find myself saying everything once in a while is allowed, they always end up. You can be.
It didn't cross my mind, Marco, but that's okay. It's all good for you.
Okay, sweetheart. So, and it's been about a year that now you also do real estate.
No, I haven't. I'm doing that selectively now, because only for very special people who want to find something in Italy, I really like to help them. I like the customer service end of it. I grew my network of contacts in Italy, particularly in the luxury market, but I do that very selectively now. I got very busy doing movies, so my attention has gone there. So between being a father and the movies, I really have time only to help very special people.
So
And so I
one
help them.
day I would like to find myself a place that is abandoned, maybe in Tuscany, un casale con olivi, and maybe retire there. I will call you and you tell me, okay,
But
I have some.
where in Tuscany? Because Tuscany is so big.
Tuscany, whenever it's like not too far from Florence, I can go there within an hour drive, and that is like nobody else next to me. I can shoot gun outside and be like like.
Well, there's that whole sort of mountainous area, which many cities are abandoned in, between like the Florence Rome corridor over to the sea, and then there's a mountainous area in between where there's not too many there.
That would be even better because from Rome to it's closer also to my hometown.
Yeah, and for me, I know I'll be in Torino here for some years, but I'm starting to look for a pile of rocks to redo. That's basically a rustica.
Yes, so we're
And
doing the same thing.
so okay, then we'll find some place. We'll build our. I'm looking for places with thermal waters too. I love thermal baths. Yeah, Saturnia,
Yes,
vicino
you can still
Saturnia.
find those things.
What's interesting, because I've been researching, there's a lot of places where the thermal baths have been closed in Italy. I know of 3 different thermal baths that are closed. Four. So I don't know why they closed. It was too expensive to operate. There's one actually very close to Ventimiglia, up in the hills, a hotel that had a very sulfuric thermal bath, and it just they overexpanded, tried to make a luxury hotel where there wasn't a market, and now it's sitting vacant. And
hanno cagato fuori dalla tazza. They over.
Yeah.
And for example, in Ischia also there is thermal thing, and there was a listing of a house that have actually a pool with that thermal thing. Can you imagine how cool it is to have your own pool thermal, so always warm, 12 months a year?
And Ischia is very beautiful. The thing is, Ischia, once you're there, you need to get across the sea to get back to Naples. But I love Ischia.
You go there every year, right?
Yeah, I'd love to go to the Ischia Global Festival or for other reasons in Ischia. I really love it.
Hai visto che è successo qualche giorno fa con il maltempo? Tutto il mare è andato a finire dentro il porto di Ischia. Cosa incredibile.
No.
Guardati i video, they are online everywhere. There's like the waves just flooded.
Oh, dai.
Crazy.
Dai. No, but Ischia is a very special place. I love Ischia. I like Ischia more than Capri, for me.
Capri is just too small. There's the little square. That's it. I know.
It's a little square and shopping and a view, which is fine. But I like to get in the sea. I like to get in the water. I love in Ischia. There's more than one place, but there's one place as a restaurant, and then it's at the seaside. But the thermal water is coming out into the sea, so the sea gets warm.
Yeah.
And if you get closer to where it exits, there's people cooking mussels, cozze.
Dentro l'acqua calda. Cosa ne pensi invece, questa te la faccio in italiano, di Gaeta?
Gaeta è bellissimo, mi piace Gaeta tanto. Ma perché non si trovano rustica là? Ci sono?
No, davvero no.
Nord di Gaeta?
Sì, nord di Gaeta sì, c'è un paesino che si chiama Itri.
Sì?
Sì, ci sono alcune delle cose belle ancora, Fondi, Itri. Non stai lontanissimo. Mi piace anche Sperlonga, che è vicino Gaeta.
Ah sì, esatto. Sì.
Yeah.
Sì, sto facendo ricerca ora per trovare anche il mio posto, perché sarebbe bello, quando ho finito questa fase, essere in città con un bimbo che cresce in città, trovare un posto in campagna, vicino al mare, ma anche non lontano di un ospedale, di cosa dove si può avere servizi medici.
Giusto?
Sì. Oppure io creo un posto per longevity.
Ok.
Che pensi? Longevity.
Sì.
Yeah.
Adesso
There's
specialmente...
there's there's a woman
Go ahead,
in
go ahead.
near Lago Maggiore who's over 101 years old and runs her bar, runs her cafe,
Crazy. That's good.
and
That's
she's still
life.
there. And she's out there running. A little lady, she uh, uh, puts all the tables, and you
Mhm.
go in there and you. I order just a coffee because I don't want to
So
say
you know her.
cappuccino. I had to go see it.
Of
I
course.
had to go see it, and we went out a few times. She's a very special lady.
She's
We're
four
just
years
good
younger
friends
than
now.
you.
Yeah, we're just good friends.
And and how long she take to make her coffee? Is she fast too?
Uh,
You have to wait a little bit to.
it depends on what coffee you order.
Because
Caffè lungo.
okay. Is it funny also when you go to American coffee places, right? Everyone now is like Starbucks. There is like a million coffee you can choose from, and one pump on this or decaf, no fat milk. Oh, in Italy, there's only two things you can ask: can I have a caffè or un cappuccino? That's it.
Sì, caffè lungo, macchiato,
But it's still a
morecchino,
variation of a little thing that take 3 seconds to make.
oppure Biscerin.
È nuovo, non
Biscerin is from up here in Torino. Biscerin.
parlare
It's
un'altra lingua.
with chocolate and coffee and latte. È buono.
Marocchino lo chiamiamo noi.
Ma questo non è marocchino, è diverso. Biscerin è
Cool.
diverso.
Wow.
Viene a Torino, andiamo per tutti i caffè, anche il caffè Biscerin, quello originale. Andiamo là.
Vabbè.
Because Torino is the city of coffee and of chocolate.
Guarda questa foto quando sei venuto a Gaeta con i bambini
Oh
miei.
my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And now those two guys are huge.
They've grown.
Tu stavi lì anche quando si sono fatti il battesimo? Stavi qua a Las Vegas?
Sì,
E
sì,
poi
sì.
siamo tornati in tutte le cose più importanti. Ci si sta.
Guarda, battesimo. E loro hanno 19 anni ora? Quanti anni?
19, sì. Uno sta proprio in California e l'altro sta a Reno.
Ma quasi
College.
California. Quasi
San
California.
Diego.
No, ma Reno è quasi California.
Yeah,
anche.
right. Yeah, because it's almost a Tahoe, and Lake Tahoe is California. You go to ski
Right
too a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, they love dangerous sport. And Francesco like to go hiking in San Diego, that there is like this mountain beautiful that you can hike forever. Quindi è bellissimo.
Yeah.
San Diego è stupendo. Reno
Okay.
è sempre
San
cold.
Diego, io ho un fratello in San Diego
Lo so.
che vive lì. Sì. Hai conosciuto forse? Mike?
Al
Non so.
telefono una volta.
Beh,
Oh,
tanti.
tell me one more thing. You commit once in a while to go work in LA too. Is the jet lag something that still bother you when you go across the world, or you have your trick not to have it no more?
No, I still get jet lag.
Bad.
When I arrive in Los Angeles, it takes a few days. Also, I go more to Boston now because my daughter's in Massachusetts. And then when I come back, it's a few days. It takes me a few days. But still, if you're working, I can work. But the rest of it
It's off.
But as always, it's the same with you. When you arrive somewhere to do your work, there's no clocks involved.
Yeah, you work.
You work. And when I
Yeah.
don't work, there's no clocks involved because I'm sleeping. I know that sleep is very important now, and for longevity, for your health, sleep, social contact, certainly nutrition, and exercise. And exercise also to keep your muscle mass. So
one trick that I discovered that really helped me with jet lag is fasting. if you really are empty stomach and don't eat nothing on the plane, I'm like good to go in 2 days in Italy. I learned that from someone that come to play poker here all the time from Dubai, and since then I say, okay, now I do that all the time. But
So I should try fasting.
fasting stuff because but 24 hours, you're good. Perfect.
I should try. I should try the fasting.
Yep.
But for me, eating and during the trip is something to do because to Los Angeles, to here, or even to the East Coast, it's a 20 hours door to door, 24 hours door to door.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's a miracle. You're on a chair in the air, as
crazy.
Louis C.K. says.
When I think about it, the first time I came to America, most of the plane was still rotary. The one that you take inside. I mean, I bet when you take the first plane, they were doing with the wings like that, right?
Well, we
Back
only had
then.
boats.
You
Only
have
boats.
you have carbon. Si mettevano il carbone no, but
We did like the Flintstones.
with your feet.
We did
Drive the car.
yabba dabba doo. Yabba dabba doo.
Yeah, things change. And you know what? Actually, only with plane we went backwards because remember, there used to be, I don't know if you ever took it, I never have the luxury, but they used to have this French airplane that
Yeah.
were like very fast. They come
Supersonic.
in 5 hours. That was good.
Yeah.
Have you been in one of those?
No, I never have been in a supersonic aircraft. No.
That's
No, always just a normal aircraft.
yeah.
A little Cessna.
I know
Flying
it's
from Iowa to Denver in a little Cessna.
that.
That was a great adventure. I was working with when I was 18 years old, 19 years old. I remember when. And then my father was an engineer, a civil engineer, and worked for a company that made steel buildings. So they could be grain structures or hold farm equipment. And we were sent with an opportunity to sell these buildings to farmers in Iowa. So I was working with another fellow who flew an aircraft, and we would get in his Cessna 182, land on the gravel road, and pull into the farmer's driveway, and then talk to him about this beautiful Marvel's Brute steel building that can hold the grain, and then when it's done, you can use it to put your farm equipment in there. And then we would take off, hopefully with a contract, not always, and take off on the plane and head out.
And you were like holding your breath all the way up. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no, so it was no, I was cool. It was interesting. Yeah. But they're made for short trips. But we did go from Iowa to Colorado. That was a long trip in this little aircraft. But they were fine. You're actually pretty safe in those because they can glide.
Okay. So if that happen, a helicopter can do that. So it's better a Cessna than a helicopter.
But whatever, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. Every day's a miracle. That's for sure.
That's for sure. Now, this movie they are doing called Carpe Diem. When it starts shooting and when it finish?
Well, my days are toward the end of March, but they're gearing up pre-production right now. Dennis DeLay is the director, and he's from the Veneto, Vicenza. So we'll be shooting over in that area. I've been doing a lot of movies, some in English, some in Italian. I did a couple for Amazon that I did the non-disclosure agreement I can't talk about. A really nice international production. Then little movies that you may never see. This Ladri di Stella Cadente that opened up the Taormina Film Festival, not at the main stage, but it was the first film shown because it was in a Sicilian movie, created and shot down there. And that's a lovely movie. I like that one.
They're shooting 2 movies in Italy that I would love to be part of, and I never want to act in my life. But one series that everybody fell in love with was Game of Thrones. They were filming in Gaeta for the sequel, for the
did they?
prequel. Yeah, They are filming right now, and there's another movie that's filming in Matera right now with one of the coolest actor in Hollywood for me, Mel Gibson. That
Yeah.
is called The Passion of Christ,
The resurrection.
the
He's doing the
resurrection.
resurrection.
And I would like to have a part in that one, just because I want to say, okay, I was in the movie with Jesus. How can you beat that?
I had a scene with Jesus. Yeah.
Because
We went swimming. I mean, I went swimming. He walked, but we.
yeah, he was like he cannot get wet.
And playing golf with Jesus, the water hazards don't bother him.
Yeah,
Spoil sport.
There was,
And then I hit the ball and I go, Jesus Christ,
no.
and then he goes, what?
Okay, never mind. No, there was something that I really like. Every time we say we should play around with Jesus, but there's something I really like. One time that he was defending Maddalena, that was like was saying if anybody of you have no sin before, throw the first stone, and you hear boom, a stone in the face. Mom, please.
Right. I can go through my list of jokes that I learned from my dear Jesuit priests. Because I went to a Jesuit high school. They're fine. They were good. Jesuit priests are, generally very smart and great educators.
Yeah, and that's why I never say never in life. So most likely, I have a big chance I'm gonna become a father again. And if I have a daughter, I like to go to the nun school, just because I know that they are very good at teaching you the right way. And back then they were very tough. Actually, they were like they would physically punish you if you were doing something wrong. I remember a story from my mom that say that they put you on your knees on the floor for a long time, waiting that if you did some mistake. And myself too, when I was in a elementary school, I had to go with my hands up behind the checkboard place and wait like that for a long time. After a little bit, they become heavy, so they hurt. Stop like that, Marco. So you learn a lot more. I don't know, but they don't do that no more in school.
Yeah, the physical punishment they can't do anymore. Whatever. I don't really miss it. We didn't get that much physical punishment.
You never get hit on your hands?
No, we had a priest who would grab us by the back of our hair and go like this. But we deserved it when he did it. And he was very good because he could hit you. He would have his back to you. And then he'd throw an eraser over his shoulder. He'd hit you right in the face with an eraser. He was very good. Good no-look passes. Better than Magic Johnson.
Oh, wow.
We should do a movie with Magic Johnson as a priest who does that. Does a no-look, hit somebody with an eraser. There you go. I'm filled with basketball now because my son plays basketball. We had the big Series A tournament in Torino, the mid-season tournament where they take the top 8 teams and they play a quarterfinal, semifinal, and final. The final 8, as they call it. And so we just had that this week in Torino. So I saw those were 7 games. And then with some of the myths of Italian basketball were here too. So I'm learning more about Italian basketball, and I have to say that I appreciate the sport here because mi piace il basket italiano perché è un proprio sport. It's a real sport. NBA is great entertainment, and then the playoffs become sport. But here it's sport all year round.
I mean, Kobe comes from Italy.
He played in Italy. His father was playing here.
And there's a beautiful.
There's a beautiful documentary on his Italian years, also called Kobe, but it's in Italian. I don't know if you've seen the documentary or not. But it's an Italian documentary, Italian language, about his years here in Italy. and talking with guys who were in the same town there. I think it was Reggio Emilia where he was, and I think Reggio Emilia, as I'm remembering.
Io l'ho visto un paio di settimane prima che salisse l'aereo, stava da catch in Vegas, c'è stato un catch nuovo come Catch LA, devo catch Las Vegas, in aria, stava con la famiglia, tutti e due i figli, e lo conobbi là, abbiamo parlato italiano, e poi scomparse 2 settimane dopo, incredibile. Yeah.
Ma
Well,
so are you missing Italy? Vuoi tornare?
Che mi manca mia madre,
Sì.
perché
Sta bene?
lei sta benissimo. Quest'anno abbiamo perso mio padre, quindi
Sì,
adesso
lo
lei
so.
che è da sola e voglio passare più tempo con lei, perché
Anche tuo fratello è vicino, anche?
sì, verrò a Roma,
Ah.
quindi da Roma Gaeta è sempre il weekend, voglio stare lì perché succedono cose quotidiane che se ci fosse...
Ma tua mamma esce di casa o no?
Sì,
Lei
sì,
sta a casa.
lei guida, lei è attivissima, sì.
Bene.
Yeah. Pit
Bene.
Rose, I will try to read this comment. Years ago, I went to send me...
There's a comment.
No, there's not a few comments, but yeah, I don't know. You read it for me. Look, I put it on the screen, you see?
I want you to send me a Reds game on the road. We were driving. We met Pete Rose himself driving towards his world record for 45,192 record. And I saw Pete Rose that first time driving, and he saw me in the you're all sheep. I mean, okay, that's somebody's doing politics.
Yeah, I block him.
Did he? Okay. And they're saying F you, and
Nice. I don't have to read those one.
yeah, well, whatever. I'm doing, I'm detached from I'm not detached from politics. And actually, you and I have different opinions on politics, and we're not talking about
friend.
it. But it's good to be here, because I find when I'm in the United States now, there's a great anxiety because there's such an identity with whatever your political opinion is. Because, and I'll tell you how I can compare it. For what soccer team do you cheer for? Marco?
The last one my son played for, it was Rome.
Yeah, Rome. Okay, so you're Rome.
Yes.
So you're against Lazio.
Yes.
Lazio, you don't like Lazio. You're for Rome.
Not really, but yes, I guess.
But Juve?
Juventus, yes, I like it. It was
You
my
like or
first
no?
team. It was my first team growing up. My father was from Juventus, so I became Juventino.
Yeah. So there's Juve. So, but if you're from Napoli, it's Juve merda. Okay.
Yes.
There's because the people who just wear the other color shirt, they become the enemy without really any reasoning. It's completely identity. I identify with this team. The other people are the enemy. Therefore, I'm against them. And I want to see them suffer and cry. And I get great satisfaction from somebody really getting hurt on the team. But it's all identity in sport. But what happens in politics is there's such an identity now with a certain team. Is it blue? Is it red? And we're fighting one against the other without even discussing any factual things.
We will find a lot more point in common if you discuss. Oh wow, we see likewise in many topics,
But my point of view is that was is created on purpose. The internet rewards conflict, and the algorithms reward anxiety and anger. So that's the effect of things. So I'm a little detached from it. I'm at peace with it. I know there are things that are really make me very anxious and things that make me very heartbroken and sad. And I know that this too shall pass. So that, but I think when I go to the United States now, wherever I go, there's such an identity with everybody. It seems to me that it's difficult to escape that. So in some ways, from in Italy, the politics hasn't evolved to that because it's not A or B.
Yeah.
It's not a binary politics.
A to Z.
Yeah, there's always, and
So
people
many.
change parties from one to the other all the time, and that's part of all it is. And nobody wants 50%. No party wants 50% because then there'd be too much responsibility. But
Yes.
anyway, my heart gets broken for the conflict in America now, and because America is an idea more than a place, and
And it's going away. Since the Patriot Act, everything's changing. The freedom that we once have.
that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And even before that, the abandonment of the equal time rules, because that was abandoned a long time before. They're trying to play it now, but that opened up to really a segmented radio with no responsibility, only to make people angry and make money. So yeah. So, and I also, what's interesting here, Marco, because we're friends, we can talk like this. People can watch us talk. It's interesting. I certainly have had an identity through the years. Now, because I've been doing meditation here for a few years now, and when you do meditation, you sort of separate yourself from your own identity. Okay, you join a transcendental field, and you join another. You join the energy that's within. Let me put it that way. But you're also just sort of say, okay, I'll look at myself for a while. And what is that that's looking at yourself is your consciousness, right? The real consciousness. And so I have this identity that I created. But what's interesting now as an actor is, okay, I created this Daniel McVicar, Danny McVicar identity. I grew up in Colorado. I'm one of 12 kids, and all this stuff is part of my identity. I'm an American. America is our dream. And then I want to be an actor. I go out to Los Angeles, and this is my identity. But as an actor, you also create other identities. Yes. Everybody does too. We go to work, we create our identity. As a poker player, I know that you say, I sometimes will play like this person, I'll play like another person. You'll change your style according to how you want to change your identity. Yeah. So so that can give you some opportunities and some more flexibility. That's one thing that I remember, a quotation from you. As your style of play, you say, I can change my style of play. I remember. What's interesting now is when people recognize me for a role that I did, and probably the one that I'm still recognized for the most is the one I did on The Bold and the Beautiful, and they call me Clark. Sometimes they'll call me Ridge because it's in that part of their brain, and I go, okay, great, fine, and or I say, io sono quello più bello. But I'll joke with them. I'm more the handsome one. But but what I'm observing is they are affected by an identity that I created, that was created by my identity. We can go into it's almost like Russian nesting dolls.
Yes.
Crazy. And it's kind of interesting there. But and we're not even smoking here, Marco, and we're talking like this.
Unbelievable. Going back to the sport thing and why I never was a teammate, because I remember when they say give them circus and bread to control, and I was still young when I learned that notion, and I say, okay, I'm not gonna be influenced by that. Like I'm not influenced by politics or other stuff. Yes, I'm more conservative because I'm a Bible guy. Like I like to read my Bible, so they lead more to the right than the left. But doesn't mean that I don't like most some of my friends, very good friends like you, are on the other side. So what,
Well, so I mean, Talarico in Texas is certainly an example for you of somebody who holds the Bible close, who you could listen to and see what he says, because he makes sense. Talarico.
Okay.
He's the son of a Baptist preacher and Democrat. So
Okay.
it's sort of interesting what he has to say these days. In terms of that, I'm saying good for everybody, good for everybody. But I think when freedom is lost, a great deal is lost. And you grew up in Italy, that was the Italy after the war, where certainly Mussolini had his work done. And then after Mussolini was out, the Germans stayed. And that took some more time for the Partigiani here. And it's something that America never really faced as much. There was a great civil war in the 1800s, which wasn't very civil at all.
No, not at all.
But I think gratitude is the first thing that we all need to hold on to. Is really to be grateful to be here, grateful for the great opportunities that we have every day to live, breathe, eat, spend time with friends. Gratitude is the key for everything.
Yes, when you master gratitude, you really appreciate life a lot more.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. I'm grateful for this chance to talk to you and let other people listen to it.
So
hopefully we didn't bore them too much.
We'll be no. It actually is beautiful. I'm gonna cut from these a few pieces which I will repost, and they usually go very good. So I'll send it to you in the next few days. I want to finish this with something I also want to do with you, right? Because one time you taught me what you think when you do those staring thing, and I like to finish with a few seconds of staring in the camera, and then I tell you what I'm thinking when I do that. Okay, so let's go a little bit.
Am I supposed to watch you?
No, you have to do the stare. You know what, when you
I stare.
Yeah, the stare that you do in the soap opera when you.
Oh, you mean like they'll say, they'll tell you I'm pregnant, and then the camera will cut back to you.
Yes, the camera
God, I haven't done this for a long time.
The stare, okay. So let's do.
I haven't done this for a long time. Wait just a second. I haven't done this for a long time. It's like suspended animation.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to do anything. It's as if it was a freeze frame, but they hold you in the frame, but you're breathing.
Exactly.
Right. So you tell me something, and then I will hold my reaction in a way that will keep the audience wondering what I'm going to do.
Yes. I'm not going to imitate you while I'm doing, when I ask you. Okay. Now I'll ask you the question first. Okay. And then you do the whole thing. Okay.
Okay.
I heard that the job opportunity is not there no more. Yeah, so good. Yeah, so good. Okay, and I know what's going on in your mind.
Sometimes, and I chose not to that time. Sometimes you just do the turn away.
Oh, the turn away. That's how it's called. The turn away. Oh, Daniel, thank you so much. I'm going to end the live.
Then you gotta add the music over it. The dramatic music over it. And oftentimes what was in the script was an enigmatic look. Enigmatic. Yes, we don't know what he's thinking. It's an enigma. Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Okie dokie, okie dokie.
Hopefully, when I go to the film set now, I don't do that.
I'm gonna press the end stream thing, but you're gonna stay there for a second, okay? So
Okay.
we can say goodbye to you. But let's say goodbye to them first.
Ciao,
Ciao,
tutti.
guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Maybe we do this again in the future. We don't know.
Always fun.